Hello and welcome back to another Coach Dave Academy Lap Guide video. My name is Bart and today we will be taking the FIA 4 car and iRacing around the Imola Grand Prix circuit. Here's my hot lap. Alright, main straight now at Imola, even though it's not, I know it's not straight, but it's flat out and it's straight. So, we're kicking around a bit, we're going to go to the right hand side. Don't get caught up by the fact that, again, the straight is not straight, but just move over to the right hand side of the track, please. There's a kink here, kind of in your braking phase. I'm not sure zone is correct, but phase might be. You're going to be aiming here. This is the actual first corner, the chicane. This is 1, 2, 3 here. Aiming to meet the white line here as you're braking, and then kind of meet the apex around here between these sausage curbs. But just, I'm trying to get you, trying to prepare nice and early and big smart. Okay, so what can we do to help ourselves here? Make sure we're on the white line where the service road is, or before it ideally. Yep, all right, that's step one. Step two, we're going to point the car this way, and then we're going to push the braking. So there you go, braking before I actually get to the white line here. It's basically at the 100-meter board, all right? Very good reference there. 100-meter board, braking. I'm going to meet the white line. I'm a good boy. Down to fourth gear. Off the brakes fairly early. Car's going to rotate for me. Get on this curb. This curb really helps hook the car around. The sausage curbs don't. They're horrendous, to be honest, in this car. This is why Imola is actually a really annoying track in this car, because there's a lot of curbs that, like, you need to take them, but if you take too much or hit them in the wrong way, they upset the car a lot. But there's a lot of off tracks as well. But here we are. So make sure here you're just on the red and white curb. Try to avoid the sausage as well as possible. Pick up throttle. Should be forced out. Should be flat by the time you reach this right-hand side curb. Just miss these sausage curbs. Run as close to them as possible. Let the car out. Try and be smooth on the steering. Should get forced out to here, white line. Don't be lazy. Keep working the wheel back to the right, to the left. Flat through here. Should always be flat easily in this car. Don't hit the inside sausage curb. There's no point. Okay, just the red and white. And again, smooth on the wheel. Let the car out a bit there. Bring it back to the white line. And that's through the first kind of complex of lap. All right, into the second chicane now. Okay, you got the 50-meter board on the right. We're going to be braking just after that. Really soft brake here. Main thing about this corner, really important, is, again, preparation. That's the theme here, yeah? It's a combination corner. You need to get your exit out of here right. And it's really important to open up the angle. So what we're trying to do is come around the back of this left-hander. Ignore this left-hander for the sake of, like, oh, I'm going to a left-hand corner. No. This is a right-hander. We're preparing for it. How do we prepare for it? We're going to be as far left as possible. I want to be here, so I can open up this corner as much. Not here. All right? That's where the time gain is going to be. So I'm late on the brakes. The later you're on the brakes, the better angle you have here. What happens if you brake early? You end up tight, hit this curb early, and you end up bouncing off there. Get on throttle early. So try to be as late as you dare here. Soft, so we don't upset the car too much. Yeah, we don't want to pitch the car too much. It can get quite unsettled. Hold 5th gear is what I do, because again, there's no exit out of this left, so we're just about carrying speed in. Keeps the car stable as well. 5th gear, left-hand side tire, basically on the white line, so I've done very well in this scenario. Down to 4th gear, bleed off the brakes nicely. Again, just try and ride that inside right-hand curb. As soon as you get to that curb, pick up throttle. Might not be full, but get to some throttle. Keep your right-hand side tires on the red and white. This just sucks for an off-track here. It's really annoying. If you run all the way up to the edge of this runoff area, you will go off track. Again, you have to get these right tires completely on the red and white. Otherwise, it just gives you an off track. So, yeah, that sucks. And make sure you bring this over before the end of this curb. Otherwise, you'll end up hearing an off track. So don't do that. Don't be lazy. Move back over to the right-hand side. Also, good reason not to be lazy. Braking reference is this 50-meter board. There's a little white line of dash here. And you got the service road. That's pretty useful. No excuses for being wrong on your braking point here. Down to 3rd gear. A fairly hard brake, fairly firm, but you have to start turning in kind of in the braking zone. Try to be as late and as straight as possible for as long as you possibly can be. Rotate down to 3rd. Car should kind of grip up, bring back to the white line. As you get to the white line, or just before that, pick up throttle, force the car out. This whole corner is about being smooth. So if you're getting snaps, it means, okay, I've over-rotated a bit. I need to kind of just make sure I'm not rotating too early as well. It's very easy here to turn in and turn out, okay? Or get on throttle with lock on and then get snaps. If that's happening, you need to go in later, yeah, deeper. So you watch on the entry, watch where I end up. Like, I ignore this whole bit here. I just aim to be here. Then the car turns in. See? Comes towards me. Grip comes back. Rotate. White line. Off the steering. Use all this runoff. Back over. Easy. Nice. All right. So stay on the right-hand side now, up the hill, into this quick downhill left-hander. Pretty simple corner. Doesn't mean it's easy, but pretty simple. We just want to try and carry as much speed as possible here. Brake as late as you dare. Again, reference-wise, there's a 50 board. We've gone past that, well past that. So just brake as late as you can. Keep moving it forward. Try and get your left-hand side tires on the white line. That curb is not really great. Like, it kind of knocks you sideways a bit. It kind of upsets the car. So just try to get as close to as possible. When you reach the white line, you should drop the brake and switch to throttle. The car's going to be stuck in understeer. You can take it in 4th. I preferred 5th. Up to you. Depends as well. On the fixed setup, I imagine it'll be 4th because it'll be too understeery. But in this case, I think 5th was good. If you're running a bit more aggressive on the wing. Run out here. As long as you have your left tires on the red and white, you're doing good. So you see it's quite an odd-shaped exit curb, but just use the curb and come straight back on. You can see here, this is a quick little thing. Don't hang out around here, taking extra distance. Bring the car back over to the left-hand side, please. Back to the left. Watch out for this curb. You can't. It's actually like quite steep. It's kind of like a gutter almost. Like you ride that, it'll really upset the car in here. So just white line on the left. 50-meter board. Turn in just after that. I'm aiming. Again, this is a double corner, so combination corner. So really, we're trying to brake nicely, so we get a good angle up the hill and we're able to get on throttle with nice straight exit. To do that, we want to be able to rotate the car well here. To do that, we want to be able to brake late, so we're not just really soft. And then it's easy here to brake early or lose control and then brake early, release the brake early, and then just understeer up the hill, which is really bad. So we want to be able to nice braking here. How do we do that? All right, prepare the car nicely in this section. So this is a part lift to kind of keep it within the bounds of the track. You'll see here I'm flat at this point, but I'm going to lift as I go through the right-hander. Just basically run my right tires, just clipping this inside curve. You don't want to take it too much because it upsets the car, but just to position the car as far to the right as possible because I'm not going to move left through the braking zone. I'm hoping to end the braking zone there. Get onto the brake. You can see the car's moving around down to 4th gear. And then now I have a straight braking phase, so I'm going to build the brake pressure. That's something to watch as well. See, I build the brake, okay, because the car's trying to turn and brake at the same time. As soon as I get straight, I can press the brake a bit harder, be more efficient on the brakes. Come off the brake now, down to 3rd, bleed off, get the car on the inside curb, full throttle pretty much on that curb. As long as you have your right tires on red or white, you're all good for track limits. Watch out here, there's a bump that really annoys me. See there? You just have to hit that almost. Move over to the left-hand side of the track, coming into the chicane. Really, really tricky corner. 50-meter board's a pretty good reference, I believe, for the brakes. Yep, just before that. Fairly hard brake. You see 70 or 80% there. Down to 3rd gear. The 3rd gear change is quite late, so 4th and then 3rd, just as you turn to the right. Important here to prepare the car again in terms of the angle we strike the curbs on. So legality-wise, you need your you need a tire on the white line. So my left-hand side tires need to be on the white line for this bit, and right-hand side tires for the white line on that bit there. You can just about get on the sausage curb. It's about trying to open up the corner as much as possible. So this corner is, okay, I'm going through a right-hander, and a bit like those chicanes we talked about earlier in the lap, this isn't really like, oh, I've got to do a right-hand corner, and then I've got to do a left-hand corner. It's more like, okay, I've got a left-hander onto an exit. Now this is part of my braking zone. I'm trying to prepare the car. So I'm just trying to position the car for this left. So we're just trying to get the car over to here as we're braking, get it to land about there, and then turn in. So do that, try and take the, try and like soften the angle as much as possible here. You can see as I go over the curb, car's going to land. I'm off the brake now. Now I hit the brake again, okay? So you're going to brake. As you turn in for that first go, come off the brake. Just settle the car. You can use a little bit of throttle if you want, but you don't really need to speed up. As you land again there, you see the car bounces. It's a very stiff car, this F4 car. So just be careful with that. A little bit of brake here. Yes, to slow the car down. More importantly, to put the weight back on the front axle so we have more rotation, yeah? So we have more front grip. Then come out of the brake again as you turn. Take all this left curb. You see my right tire is just about on the white line. Just about legal here. And then should be able to get off the lock, get onto throttle. So you want to be on throttle on that left curb a little bit, just to kind of settle the rear and start getting the engine going. But as soon as you land, you can go full. If you're full on the curb, it just wheel spins with the open diff. It really struggles. Okay, so as the car sits, full throttle, let the car run out. As long as you have your tires still on the red and white, again, you'll be all right. You can actually run a bit more track than I did there. All right. Should be up to 6th gear here. Hold the right-hand side of the track. Downhill, going in really, really fast now. Past 100-meter board, braking about 70, I believe. Yep. About halfway between the 100 board and the 50 board on the right-hand side. This is your really hard braking zone. Really, really heavy braking zone. So smash the crap out of the brake. Okay? Really, really hard. Okay. As you go past that white line, you can't start thinking about turning into the corner. We start to deviate from the white line on the right-hand side. Bleed out of the brakes now. It's downhill, this corner. It's important to push entry, okay? There's no exit out of here specifically. Like the exit speed you carry through here, you have to lift for this next left hand that's coming up anyway. It's much more important to be late on the brakes and gain time on the way in. If you're early on the throttle here, you don't gain much, okay? I never want you having to get out of the throttle or turn out here. I just want pushing the entry, okay? Don't just make this apex. And it always grips up more than you think here. So always try to push the braking and really push the entry into this corner. Carry speed, okay? So take a bit of that curb. It helps rotate the car a bit. On throttle, push the car out as much as you can. Again, just attack. You got to attack that left-hander. Full throttle now. Now it should be a part lift as we turn in here as late as possible. Keeping some throttle on will help stabilize the car. You shouldn't need it to turn in. Again, maybe on a fixed setup, you will need it. This curve really helps rotate the car. If you take too much of it, actually, I find it's caused the car to snap quite a bit. It's one of these corners you have to control the car, okay? More curb is more turn, basically. Okay, more oversteer, more turn. And more throttle is more understeer, less turn, yeah? So when you turn in, hit the curb, front's going to grip up, get on throttle a bit more. That should set the rear back down again. That's kind of your controls through there. Get up to full as you come off the curb. Release the steering, let it come all the way out. Again, left tire's running to the red and white. Up to 4th gear. I try to kind of hit the, or change up before I hit the bump there on the exit curb. Rejoin the track. Shortest distance to the line, the right-hand side of the track. And that is our lap at Imola in the F4 car. All right, then, that brings us towards the end of the video now. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. And you can also check out the Coach Dave Academy Discord. There's a link for that in the YouTube video description. You can also find tons of information about setups, coaching, and more at that link in the Discord. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.